Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Mind of a Masters Terran player. My name's Misery. This is episode 4. We're going to be looking at another Terran versus Terran matchup. I know we did one last week, but this was a game I played yesterday that was very good, actually. It was very close all the way through, and we want to look at some losses. And I think this was a very good game to pick out with the length and how close it was. So this is a series in which I'm going to go through my thought process. Why do I do what I do? Why do I make certain decisions? And what could have been done better? So this game is against the Sanitizer, aka Uppatry Zelda, aka Uppatry Zoldu, aka what are these else does he go by? Lonk Tony, aka Salvatore Damore, the hater of subs. So I start this game off with a little joke. I say, is today the day? Because I think I've got an all-time record of 0-7 or 0-8 against Sal. So I was just kind of making a joke there, like, yeah, is today the day I finally get a win against you? And so he just says no, he's not having any of it. He's going full try hard, I think. So playing against Uppatry, I know his tendencies a little bit in TVT and from watching his stream. If you haven't checked his stream out, twitch.tv/UppatryZelda. It's a pretty chill Terran to watch. Very good. So I know that he likes to open gas first, Reaper expand. He doesn't like to go for the double gas openings very much anymore from the last few times that we've played each other. I know that I still like to go double gas, and that most of the time on these new maps with a bunker or even just with proper unit placement at your ramp, or just being extra careful, you can defend a lot of 2 gas pressures with the 1 Rax expand nowadays, unless I'm doing like a 2 Rax Reaper from over here or something really aggressive that he's obviously gonna change his game plan if I'm doing that. But in this matchup, I still like to go double gas. I think it's the most safe thing you can do, and I don't like losing to 2 racks. I know Uppatry is like never ever going to 2 racks me, just because I don't think he ever 2 racks anybody or any sort of cheesy builds like that. So I do the standard opening. You get your 2 gases, or you go gas racks, gas, second depot, and your factory. Take a couple guys off of 1 gas, 1 guy off of this gas, and then I just go into the 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion play. So we can apply a little bit of pressure. That's something that when you're playing against a 1 gas opponent, you want to try and put a little bit of pressure on this base, especially with your first Reaper. If you can either get that SCV or get his first Reaper, you can snowball that pretty easily. I think I talked about that a little bit last week in for TVT. If you get an early lead when you kill a Reaper or an SCV with your first few units, it's very likely that you can snowball that. In this case, we don't. Again, with proper Uppatry's pretty good with proper unit placement. He's able to get the first hit with the Reaper, chase me off because his was up on the ramp and I wanted to hit his SCV. But he, I just want to let him know that I'm not going to just let him do this for free. I'm gonna tax his APM a little bit. On my side of the map, I start my CC before my starport starts. I want to get my 3rd supply depot, my starport. Once I have my 3 Reapers and my 2 Hellions, that's when I want to go in again and try to pressure his SCV line and his units out front, depending if he skipped a bunker. If he skipped a bunker, we can maybe kill some Marines and kind of even up our useful unit count is what I'm going to call it. These units are not useful past 5 minutes. They're not going to do anything for me except for maybe scout his 3rd base timing if I keep them alive. So I want to try and do something with them. So here we go. Just kind of dancing around. He's going to keep his units alive and not really do anything here. He's not going to send any workers here until I've been shooed away. On my side of the map, I want to get a Cyclone in case he goes for a Liberator. So he's not going to go for a Liberator, but just in case, you always want to get a Cyclone first before your first tank. And I also want to get a reactor for Marines and a tech lab for my own Ravens. I want to get 2 Ravens, and then after the Cyclone, I want to get some tanks out and Marines, and then maybe we can push again when we have 2 Ravens. The key numbers are 2 Ravens and 2 to 3 tanks, and then we would want to push around the 3rd base location. So that's what we're working towards next. At this time though, we just want to try and get as much value out of these units as possible. You know, we get a couple of his Reapers. We're able to kill some of his Marines. Get rid of his useless units, basically, his Reaper and Hellion. And then try and do a little damage to these SCVs here. So because he's going 1 Rax expand, there's a couple things we can think about. He's not really going to put a lot of pressure on us. 1 Rax expand and his own Cyclone. He's preparing in case we went Liberator. Obviously, I did not go Liberator, but from what I saw, I start my 3rd command center earlier. He's going for a macro game. Just knowing that he's Reaper expanding and not 2 gas expanding. He wants to play for like the mid to late game. So I want to take my 3rd even faster. Just because I was a little bit later taking my 3rd, or taking my natural base. I want to take my 3rd base a little bit faster. And then add my production shortly after that. So I'll be adding another barracks, flipping these guys over once the 2nd Raven is out, so that I can start Stimpak, and then getting my double upgrade started. So that's how we gotta try to play a little bit greedier than our opponent in this matchup when he opened up a little greedier than us. That's how you kind of catch yourself up and take an economic lead after he's gained an economic lead on us. How we do that is we just play a little bit greedier with our 3rd CC. Once we get into the mid part of the game, I want to call it, I guess, the mid game. It's not really mid game, but at around the 5-minute mark, I guess, part of the game. So like I said, we have our extra production, and we just want to really protect against any drops and try and get as much map control as possible. I have 2 Cyclones. He only has 1. Oh no, he does have 2. So I want to try and keep map vision for as long as possible. We have some Scouter Marines out on the map. We have both Xel'Naga towers, and I've got a Cyclone outside his 3rd base. So I know that I'm faster getting my 3rd base up without having to scan. I've got my production up faster. I've got my 3rd on location. I've got a couple of I've got 1 tank defending that location. I've got very good map vision. I'm thinking I'm in a pretty advantageous position. Just unless he's going for like a doom drop somewhere that I've missed. I've got enough vision to think that he's probably not doing that. He's probably still building his Ravens, because he's going to want to do a Raven tank push as well. That's what we were talking about wanting to do earlier, a 2 to 3 tank, 2 Raven push. But because he didn't get his 3rd base as quickly as we did, we don't need to do that push, just simply because I've got the economic edge right now. I've got my 3rd on location already building SCVs. I have my double upgrade started. I have my production already going. So eventually my production is going to explode. That's what I'm thinking. I don't need to necessarily put pressure on him. I have 1 Cyclone, beating away at this CC. It's not going to do much, but, it's there, being annoying. And this is where the first big engagement happens for us. He is doing his big Raven push. He doesn't have any Vikings, though, and we have Vikings. So that's one thing we do have, even though he has a little bit more. It looks a little scary. But as long as I don't really let him take this position here, and as long as he's not able to wail on the CC for free, then I should be fine. This tank should be sieged up. It should be there sieged, but it actually ends up going in my favor. And you guys will see here just in a moment, because at the last second, I grab my army and move it away, and I'm able to save that tank. It gets disabled. It's almost like a bait. It was like an unintentional bait there, which was really good. Wasted some Raven energy because I only have 2 Ravens. He has 3. He is going to be able to wail on the CC a little bit, but now I've got Vikings. I'm going to throw down some auto turrets, get rid of his Cyclones. And we're going to keep all of our Ravens alive still and kill one of his tanks. Now, this kind of push is dead. He can't really do much with this anymore. I've got enough tanks here where he's never going to move in with his Marines. I've got the air dominance right now with the Vikings. Sure, he's got all 3 of his Ravens still alive, but he doesn't want to go in on this. He kind of does, but if he were to go in and disable or throw down auto turrets, I think that would just be wrong for him, because I have a spread on my tanks, and he just doesn't really have the units to follow it up. I can throw down my own auto turrets as well. We do get this tank here, so again, I'm feeling pretty good about my position. Now, I do get a little supply blocked, and I do forget my armory for a little while, which ends up delaying my upgrades a bit, but we're still in a very advantageous spot. Sorry, I'm going to mess that word up quite a bit during this cast. not really a cast, but during this episode. So I still feel really good about where I am in this game. You can see the supplies are almost dead even, but again, with how long my third's been there, with my upgrades, even without scanning his main, we can see that I got a huge lead as far as everything goes with upgrades. And well, we won't say huge, but a pretty significant lead with how much further ahead we are. I'm going to have +1 armor. I forgot +1 attack, but he has no upgrades, no combat shields. I think I almost have combat shields done too. Yeah, we do almost have combat shields. So sadly, he does scout this out with a marine. He's able to get tanks in position. But I really just want to, again, I just want to like be on his side of the map. I want to just create pressure on his side of the map. I don't want him to take a fourth for free. I was lucky I was able to get those ravens out of there. And there's two big locations we can try and push from if we can. We don't want to commit fully with this force because we want to, more than anything, keep map vision. Our map vision's still really good. We still have this tower. I still have a marine over here. We're about to take this tower and get rid of this marine over here. So we're keeping him kind of scared. His only marine's out on this, in this spot right here, to see if I'm going to drop him. But if we can get, you know, sieged up here, it can almost win us the game. It's not going to, because I'm not going to commit these units. So I don't want to lose all of this. So I make sure I send the ravens back home to get repaired. I hope I do that. And after seeing everything that he has, I drop my 4th command center. I get my 2nd factory, or no, sorry, 5th command center. I forgot that I built the 4th already in the main. So the 4th command center, I started knowing that I'm on his side of the map and that I have an economic lead. This one, I think I dropped by mistake, thinking it would be my 4th. So this should have been moving to location already. Sadly, it did not. But, you know, we take our map vision back. We don't lose the units unnecessarily. The worst thing I could do is just siege up here and YOLO in on these tanks and marines and lose everything. So that's a quick way to lose the game when we're already ahead 10 supply. It might not seem like much, but in TVT, when I've got, you know, 8 more workers and I still have ravens and I've got an air lead and just really any supply lead and upgrade lead, that could turn into a big victory for army engagement. So, you know, go home, repair the ravens, keep everything alive. Now I want to try and pressure again because I'm almost maxed out. I'm almost maxed out, and I think I'm going to be moving out both of these bases at the same time, taking a 4th and 5th at the same time. I also want to get sensor towers up so I can kind of see if he's going to counterattack me, because I am going to be moving all of my units out as one big force. I don't want to really care about dropping. One thing I know with Upper Tree is that he'll do this with his Vikings and Ravens too, is to protect against any sort of doom drops. He'll do that for a little while, which a lot of Terrans will do. They'll put their Vikings and Ravens in the dead space and look out for that until they get sensor towers up. So this is where not only map vision, but mules become less important and scanning becomes very important. You'll see me and Upper Tree scan each other about 100 times in the next 10 minutes or the last 9 minutes of this game. Whoever gets the faster siege usually wins a fight. Now, even though I have a 20 supply lead, it's only about 10 supply in army, and he still has a very scary army. He still has 2 ravens. I still have 2 ravens. He still has, what, 5 tanks here? I've got, looks like 7. So I should win this fight in a straight up engagement, but if I don't siege in time or if I mess up the micro, it could very easily go in his favor. You know, we're both at 1-1. We both have stim. I have combat shield, so I do have that advantage. I should probably take this fight. I should try to force the fight rather than him forcing the fight here. But I've got a 4th on location. I've got a 5th flying to the other location there because I realized that I had the extra command center. So maybe I play this a little too defensively. We'll see. You know, I stim. He throws a seeker missile on. I throw a seeker missile on. And now we're just kind of vying for this open position. Whoever can take air dominance is going to be able to, you know, slowly push forward with the siege tanks. And you'll see that I'm going to slowly win the air dominance battle here. Now, at this point, I should probably be rallying to the top here. Yeah, because he's going to do this. So this is a really good play by him, sending a group of Marines up here to stop any mining SCVs. But to counteract that, I send one siege tank into this SCV line and turn this into a planetary. That'll keep this mineral line safe until I can retake this top area. I realize I got to split some units off to go deal with that, because if I don't deal with that, he's gonna move all these tanks up onto that north or that south position. So we're able to shoo that away. We're both scanning to make sure neither one of us is moving tanks up. I send a little group of Marines to just kind of counter damage on this side, because I know that he's got the majority of his forces over here, and I just want to see where he's going to be moving things. Where is he going to move that army? Where is he going to try to outposition? Because in TVT, positioning is very, very important. He sees a couple of tanks in the high ground, decides it's not a good idea. Now, this is where I should have played a little more aggressive, and because I have such an income lead right now, like I'm floating quite a bit right here, I should be trying to unsiege everything and come down from both locations here. I should have these units at the north or at the south, these units at the north all unsiege at the same time and get a full like Zerg surround almost. That's what I should be doing right now. You'll see we don't do that until much later. But that's what I should be doing. You know, he tries to be cute with one medevac and get these tanks to kill each other. You know, now I'm finally doing it. I'm getting more units on the south side. I'm trying to set up for that big Zerg surround on this little forest, which he's not going to be able to keep that alive for much longer, or he's going to have to retreat. But he knows if he unsieges while I scan, I'm gonna unsiege and chase after him and kill it all. So he has to find some way to buy time. He figures that out by sending this attack squad to the north. So what are we thinking about right now? I've got a drop going, and I see this counterattack. I'm trying to save this drop. So when I see that force move out, I realize, okay, this is it. I gotta get rid of these guys ASAP, because I know this is going to get pushed, and then probably my natural. So I unsiege everything, go after it, push him to this corner. And even though it's not a great fight for me, we do clean everything up here, minus some of the Marines. And now it's time. I got to get the fuck back home. Even now we're like F2ing, which is, you know, kind of bad, but we're F2ing. We're moving our rally point so that we can clean this up now, because this really isn't that scary. Most of it's already dead from dealing with the planetary. So again, I'm still not in a bad position here. I still have this base up here. We clean up these Marines that decide to come back. They get blown up. We're able to come back over this way with our Marines and clean up what essentially is his whole army. He's got a little bit left over here, but this is where I really want to counterattack. He's got one guy that survives over here. At this point, I should be counterattacking hard because I have so many siege tanks right now. I've got fucking... How many we got? We got 17 siege tanks and he has 4. I should 100% be moving across the map right now. Now, I don't, because I'm overestimating my opponent. I'm thinking he has more than he does, but I have 17 siege tanks. There's no reason for me to not be pushing. I should even be probably splitting them in half, having 10 push one way and 7 with Marines another way. But instead I go for a big attack again. So we're both at 2-2. I've got he's got +1 tank armor or weapons. So now my thought process here is that I want to push his 4th base. I should be probably going for the natural the same way that he went, or at least be taking this tower back because I have the army advantage. I'm about 40 supply ahead. I should be going for this tower. That tower would make him a lot more uneasy, but because he has that tower, he knows I'm not trying to go for his production at all. And if I go for his production with half of this, he probably dies. But, you know, my thought process here is, all right, if I'm able to take this 4th out, I had my 4th a lot longer. I have another 5th base going again. And if I can, you know, take up this position up here, I can probably just cut off his income, and then that would be game. So that's what we're going for here. And I just try to get as good of a concave as possible with these tanks, make it so that he can't really engage anywhere that he wants to. And again, we've got we've got a really good lead with the air again. I've got Vikings. He only has a few medevacs. I should be pushing this advantage more than I am. I lose the Vikings, which is unfortunate. But we have so many units here. These units should be going around. I should be attacking his natural here, going for that counterattack. We have such a huge tank lead here. There's no reason for us to not be going for that counterattack into the natural. And then he's able to kind of do what I did on the south side. He gets enough units up here where he can, you know, he can keep this position up here. And he's got the line this almost the exact same way that we defended our south base. So I should have learned from how I defended the south base and attacked a little bit differently. I tried to get cute with some tank positioning here on the ramps, but I'm not really accomplishing anything with these units. The same way he wasn't accomplishing anything with his tank line over here. I have him in a very soft contain right now. So realizing that, I think, okay, well, where can I attack where it won't be a soft contain? Where can I attack and actually do something? Where can I do some damage? All right, let's try and he, you know, takes his units away from this tower. So this would be a good opportunity now for me to go over here. But this is where Opetry just comes up with the best 3000 IQ play here. He's going for a pincer, but not on this army. He's going to pincer me here and here. And I'm going to be stuck in the middle because I lost my map vision. I F2'd everything earlier. I told you guys that's bad. I lost my Marine here. I lost a Marine that was up here. I lost a Marine over here. I probably lost something here. I do have the sensor tower, but I have no idea that this is happening, and I'm not paying attention to these units. So when I'm not paying attention to these units, I go for this. This is really bad, guys. If I go the other way, I probably don't lose the game. But I go for the planetary, and this one tank cucks the fuck out of me. This one tank sieged up, sends all these tanks around. So this, we lose almost all of our Marines here. This is really, really horrible for us. And on our side of the map now I see it. I have an SCV see it. It's kind of too late. If I go to my vision, fuck, like, can I rally anything? Probably not. Sure, I'm killing this over here, but now he's killing this base. He's gonna kill this from the high ground. He's on top of my production. Basically, I have to win with this army. And as it stands right now, I'm not going to win with this army. We've lost way too much production, and now I decided to turn back. It would not have been the better idea, or the better play would have been to, instead of turn back, to just go for his, I should have gone for his production. Instead, I turn around with my 20 siege tanks and very few Marines, and I try to clean this up so that maybe I can rebuild, but I've just lost too much at this point. I've only got 2 workers or 3 workers to his 53, and even though you know, we took out a couple of we took out this base, we took out his natural, it doesn't really matter because he has enough income to be able to resupply his army, even though, you know, army supply isn't a huge difference. I guess he has double my army supply, but once this is cleaned up, he's gonna be able to resupply very fast, and I'm not going to be able to do that. So this is a situation where I should have went for the full-on base trade. I didn't, and now it's an awkward spot where, all right, I've still got kind of a scary army. Kind of. I've got 3-3. He's got, oh no, I only have 2-3. He killed my +3 attack upgrade. You know, I still have like 20 tanks, but I don't think I've got enough to be able to win this game. So, and I realized that too when I'm playing the game, and when I was streaming this game, I was like, well, shit, like now I gotta win with this army, and you know, a lot of tanks can do that. You know, I could win. It's not totally unfeasible for me to get a position with 20 siege tanks and win, but the longer I wait, the harder it's gonna be. And now I'm trying to force myself into a choke point, which is just awful. All my Marines get killed, a bunch of my tanks, and now that's practically game. He's killed everything except for I'm trying to build 1 CC down here. but it's game from this point. It was game once he got me with that pincer move and got into my main base. I turned around like a dummy. I should have went into his main, but not a bad game. This has been one of the closest games we've had in a while. GG, well played. And that's it. That's TVT sometimes. Sometimes you get hit with that really good 3000 IQ pincer move to just circumvent your army in the middle. So a few things could have gone better our way. A few things were going really well throughout that game. So this is definitely a good replay I can study up on in the future and work on my TVT some more and maybe eventually take one game off Sal. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope it helps. I'll see you guys on the ladder. Cheers.